directed by Antoine Fuqa and starring Denzel Washington, who reprises his role as Robert Mccal, the ex-Special Forces officer turned vigilante who dishes his own brand of justice to those who prey on the innocent. Now, this film marks the fourth collaboration between Denzel and Antoine Fuqa, and this is the first sequel in Denzel Washington's career. I love the 2014 release of The Equalizer. I thought Denzel was a badass in this film. The film had great characters, great action sequences. I love the direction from Antoine Fuqa. I love the beautiful hand-to-hand combat. And I also love Martin Costas, who played the villain in the film. And I thought he was a formidable nemesis for Denzel Washington's character. In this sequel, we played Denzel reprise his role as Robert Mccal. He's working as a Lyft driver in the city of Massachusetts, living quietly, helping those less fortunate. And then we see that he's called out on a revenge mission to dispense his own brand of justice on those who killed his old CIA buddy, who made a brief appearance in the first Equalizer film. And his job is to discover who did it and why. What I loved about this film, Denzel is as charismatic and as captivating as always. This man just commands attention on this film, and he gives an excellent performance as always in this film. As an action star, I thought he was great. And for me, I feel that the Equalizer films are doing for Denzel what it did for Liam Neeson with regards to the Taken films, in terms of giving him a new life as an action star. Because I thought he was really, really good in this film. The way that he did the hand-to-hand combat, I thought he was just really, really good. And I love the direction from Antoine Fuqa as well, who I think is a very, very capable action director. People will always know him for Training Day, but we forget that he also did Olympus Has Fallen, a great action film, and he also did The Replacement Killers with John Woo. So I thought he was really, really good in that. Also, I love the score by Harry Gregson Williamson, who I thought is easily one of the best composers around. He is up there with Hans Zimmer and John Williams. I love it. You know, he's worked on Unstoppable. He has worked on Deja Vu. He has worked on, The Replacement Killers. He's worked on Taking the Pelham 1, 2, 3, and I just love his score. It is just so beautiful, so soothing, and so complementary to the narrative of the story. Also in this film, there is subplots in this film, but I think one part of this film that really, really works is the relationship between Denzel's character and Ashton Sanders. Now, Ashton Sanders, if you don't know, he was in the acclaimed Moonlight. I thought that was a beautifully told film. And I like the dynamic between these two in this film. It's one of the subplots in this film, but I think that this is the one that I enjoyed watching the most, purely because of the dynamic between the two. Denzel's character is pretty much playing a surrogate father to Ashton Sanders' character, trying to steer him away from gang life, trying to steer him away from drugs, encouraging him to focus on his education and pursue his career as an art student. And then when it comes to playing the father figure role and dispensing words of wisdom, nobody does it better than Denzel. We've seen him do it in, He Got Game. We've seen him do it in, Fences. And he does it really, really well. And there's one scene in particular where he pulls a gun on Ashton Sanders' character, to try to threaten him and try to scare him. And I thought that was so reminiscent of what he did to Ethan Hawke in Training Day. And I thought that was a really, really good throwback there. But with that being said, as a sequel, for me, sequels have to be bigger and better. And you've got some sequels where they are just as good, if not better than the original, i.e. Terminator 2, where they are just on par with the original and slightly better, i.e. Lethal Weapon 2. But with the Equalizer 2, it's just not that. It isn't as good as the first film. It's not as consistent as the first film. The villain in this film wasn't as menacing as Martin Costas' villain in the first film. And also, where this film suffers is through pacing. It does take a while to get going. You see the main incident in the film where Denzel's friend gets killed off. And then it takes a good while for that information to be conveyed back to him before he starts investigating what happened. And, it does drag on a little bit with this film. And also there are too many subplots in this film. Whereas the first film was very, very consistent and, just stuck to the point, this film goes all over the place. And in this case, this film is a victim of just having too much. He's helping a Holocaust survivor try to retrieve a painting. And then you've got one where his neighbour's garden has been decimated. And all these other things as well, and it's just not consistent, and it's just in a blur, and sometimes you do tend to lose interest in this film. So The Equalizer 2 With that being said, it's still an enjoyable watch, but unfortunately in this case, it's not as good as the original. It's not as good as the original. But I will give this film a strong 7 out of 10, and this is based on the action sequences and as always Denzel's commanding performance. So folks, that is my review of the Equalizer 2. Subscribe to this channel, follow me on Instagram and Facebook, leave your comment with regards to what's your favourite Denzel film, and I shall see you on the next film review.